I think I'll walk, thanks. Here's your spooky spot on the Funko Pop Movies Trick or Treat, Chuckles Spirit Halloween exclusive. No funny business here. You'll love decorating your desk display with this officially licensed Chuckles Pop figure. Any fan of Trick or Treat will be able to recognize this creepy clown from the iconic bust photo in the movie. With a big head of red hair and a creepy, sinister smile, you'll love adding this little clown to your Pop collection. The first thing we'll do, before we get a closer look at Chuckles the Clown, is to figure out how tall the Pop vinyl figure is. We're going to go ahead and grab the tape measure here. Now, I did find this at my local Spirit Halloween. When I got the directions and I was first driving to the store, I realized I was going the wrong way. Wrong way. Anyways, let's take the tape measure. I was actually going the wrong way. I wasn't just saying that because that's a reference from the movie. About 5-10 minutes down the road before I had to turn around. I had to go into a parking lot of another store, turning around, and I had to go the opposite way. I really was literally going the wrong way. Anyways, though, Chuckles the Clown, counting the pigtails on the back, stands about 3¼ inches in height, or roughly about 9 centimeters tall. And then to move it over, let's bring in the other Spirit Halloween exclusive that we picked up. I think, was it last year or the year before? Maybe it was last year. This is the Funko Pop of Sam. Fittingly enough, of course, pulling it from both the same movie. Sam here was the exclusive because he's sitting down with his bag, waiting just for trickery to happen. And of course, he does have the little pumpkin next to him. What I liked really about that one was the fact it was a sitting down Sam. And also, too, when you put him next to, say, Chuckles, for example, you know, Sam, I think, should be smaller than Chuckles. Chuckles, one of the 8 characters, of course, that are the kids riding in the back of the bus. We all know, if you've certainly seen the movie, you all know what ends up happening to those kids. Yeah, but I think scale-wise, at least based against the Spirit Halloween exclusive Sam, I think fit in rather nicely to one another when you're putting them on the shelf. Chuckles does come included with a clear display stand, which we'll have a look at first. There's one singular peg up the top. Anyone want to guess what's going to happen to that peg? You guys are all very smart viewers. That's going to actually fit to the underside. It actually only attaches to one of the feet of Chuckles. So it's not like it's no trick question. It's easy to know right away which one that attaches to. I mean, not that the figure necessarily needs to have the base. I mean, she leans slightly off to the side, but you still don't really necessarily need to use the display stand. Now, speaking of display stands, being the fact that she is one of the 8 kids that are riding in the bus, I think it would have also been fun for the Spirit Halloween exclusive of Chuckles to actually come with a part of a bus. Could you imagine like a little back area of the bus that you could then connect to the other bus connections and have a big bus background? Is that really something that Funko even does? If it isn't something that they do, it's certainly something I would like to see them do. Anyways, like I said, the clear case, the clear display base does fit to the bottoms of Chuckles' feet, one of her feet at least. And it helps, of course, keep the figure just a little leveled, even though the figure doesn't really necessarily need it. Go ahead and take that off right now. Now, this was a Spirit exclusive, Spirit Halloween exclusive. That was the only one that was on the shelf, leading me to believe that they're probably going to do these every year. All the more reason, all the more incentive for me to go back every single year and then pick up the bus kids. Imagine me going in every single year. Excuse me, yes. I don't know why I'm whispering either. Do you have the kid 2023 exclusive from Trick or Treat? Who are you? And why do you keep coming into the store? That's the banter that would be back and forth. But this is Chuckles. The one I like the most, though, is not the one that's available this year, if this is something that's going to be an annual occurrence. My favorite is still Dracula, the one that says wrong way, wrong way. That's a nice, colorful-looking Chuckles. Chuckles, I believe, sits to this side of the bus, and I think she's like 2 from the back, just in front of that creepy one that's got all that kind of like a sheet or burlap sack on top of the head. A really, really tall one, the one that sits at the back. But this one actually is nicely colored. I don't know why, for some reason, it reminds me like a cross between Ronald McDonald and Wendy's from the Wendy's fast food giants. Has anybody had Wendy's? Do you have Wendy's in your... Everybody's got Ronald McDonald. Everybody's got McDonald's, but does everybody have Wendy's? Kind of looks like Wendy a little bit from the back, especially when you look at it from this side. Between the striped shirt of the alternating colors of the blue and the white, the coveralls done here in red, and of course the very notable pigtails in red, it does look like Dave Thomas's daughter, until of course you turn it around and you realize, oh, a creepy clown is staring right back at you. Coloring on this is really quite good. You've got the little circles of red here to the side, a little bit of red there off to the side. I'm guessing that's eyeshadow. Big bright lips as well, masking the fright and the fear behind that. I have no idea really what's going on behind that mask. Of course, we find out later. Again, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that has. If you, by the way, have not seen Trick or Treat, slap yourself right now. Don't really slap yourself, but shame on you. You should really be watching that every single year. One thing I do also like about Chuckles is the fact that she's holding a tiny little pail. I guess the bus driver by now has, just kind of whips the candy at the kids. He's just like, here, take this, take this. I mean, he's so disinterested in the idea of trekking around these kids by bus. But this one actually does have a little tiny pail. You can see a little cute little jack-o'-lantern there. Triangle eye, triangle nose, and a big smile from triangle to triangle. Of course, there is articulation, making up the majority of the only articulation that's on this figure. It rotates all the way around. And that's it. I mean, I know I'm not somebody that generally collects a lot of Funko Pops. I know I almost even by doing this seems like a bit of a hypocrite on my part that we are looking at a Funko Pop. But truth be told, though, I mean, when it comes to things like Trick or Treat, I might just make the exception to the rule. Anything that's really Halloween related. And of course, when you've also got yourself a Spirit Halloween exclusive, like, for example, Sam, we've already had a look at. I think it's, for me, something that not only was I interested to pick up this year, but judging by the fact that the shelf only had nothing but Chuckles as far as the eye can see, or about this far as the eye can see, I'm guessing that this is going to be an annual occurrence. Whether we are, say, going to be getting Dracula next year, the Dracula boy, the wrong way boy, the wrong way boy, whether we are actually going to be getting him maybe next year, or I may have to wait a couple of years. If this is the plan of Spirit Halloween, if they put it in place where you do have to come back and commit to the idea of the store, you don't even have to twist my rubber arm. I'm going to be coming back to your store anyways every single year. But now I have more incentive, because now that I've picked up Chuckles here, I will want to be, of course, picking up the rest of the 7 kids that are riding at the back of the bus in Trick or Treat. One of my favorite stories, actually, from Trick or Treat, between that and Sam in the next door neighbor's backyard and, of course, inside his house. 2 of my favorite stories. One thing I also certainly would like to see as well before we cut away to the final looks of this Funko Pop is I'd also like to see maybe this done in a black and white. I mean, considering they already have the mold, and Funko's all about reusing the mold as much as they can, I'd love to see this one actually get Chuckles get actually re-released in a black and white variant. That would be pretty cool to see as well. I find myself right now wanting to make a bit of amends for some of the statements I made over the course of this video. First of all, not all bus drivers can be paid so easily by parents that want to do away with their kids. Not all bus drivers. So if you are a bus driver and you are watching this video and you took some offense to that, it's only a select few that are bribed by parents. Second of all, the bus driver isn't just whipping the candy. He carefully places the candy into their shackled arms before heading to the front of the bus again. Again, going back to Chuckles here, being the fact that she was literally the only one that was on the shelf. She was there, along with, I think a couple of Hocus Pocus Funko Pops. I had no desirable interest to pick up either one of those, even whether they would be Spirit Halloween exclusive or not. Even if they were made by unicorns, I'd have absolutely no interest. But Trick or Treat, I would be willing to maybe pass on. Always saying I would be never interested to pick up a Funko Pop. I'm willing to sort of ignore that rule of thumb right now. If it means, first of all, get a Trick or Treat Funko Pop, and second of all, to get one that's a Spirit Halloween exclusive. Now, of course, when it comes to Spirit Halloween exclusive, being the one that this was the only one that was available, gotta believe, I'm not a smart guy, but I gotta think that I could put 2 and 2 together and think that every single year, this is something that they're planning to do. If that's the case, one thing I would have thought would have made more sense to actually put a little label on the front of the box that would have said the Spirit Halloween 2022 exclusive, so that every single year one is going to be popping up and you're going to want to come back to your store, twist that rubber arm of yours to see which kid they have the following year. I'm still going to be interested to get all the 8 kids from the bus, but I'm hoping that next year will be the wrong way vampire kid. Who's your favorite of the kids that ride the back of the bus in Trick or Treat? And maybe another question to throw you guys, the viewing audience, the spooky viewing audience that seems to be all dressed in capes right now. Why is everybody wearing capes? Anyways, another question I certainly would want to throw out to you guys is, what's your favorite mini story that was inside Trick or Treat? So of the Trick or Treat movie, which was your favorite movie? inside. Which was your favorite story? I made that a lot more complicated than it needed to be. What was your favorite story in the Trick or Treat movie? I think that worked out a little bit better. Also, again, if you guys are interested, pick this one up for yourself. It is an exclusive to the store, and it's exclusive to their online site. So pick your poison. You can go either route to pick up the Trick or Treat Spirit Halloween exclusive, Chuckles the Clown. That was a bit of a mouthful. If you did enjoy this video, certainly hit it with a like. If you're loving the content you're seeing, and certainly want to stick around and see what other spooky stuff we're going to be looking at over this month, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure you turn on the bell notification. Make sure you come back. While we have done things small, we are going to be looking at some slightly bigger collectibles that you can pick up during the month of Spottober. A bit of a tease, all the more interest for hopefully you guys to come back and see what other things are brewing on the channel for Spottober for 2022. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.